What's happening, crypto crew? We're getting straight into it. We got a jam-packed video today talking about quite a few things, looking at the charts, got a few updates, and we got an excerpt from a crypto guru. Make sure you watch this to the end. Take a look at the charts at the current time of this video. Bitcoin's coming in at 41,549. Are we going to see more lower price action or higher in the short to midterm? In the short term, we might see some lower price action. The bears are fighting. How low can we go? We'll take a look at that, but we're looking back in the charts. We're looking back over history and we're seeing what we can make sense of. So look here, when we had the 2017 peak back in $20,000 Bitcoin price, we had the market low all the way down to $3,100. Look at the RSI, we bottomed out here. So this peak here would be equivalent to this peak back here, the $65,000 peak. Well, look here, the lull happened and we went all the way down to about almost 16,000 here and $3,100 here. And look what happened. We ran up. The first time we got overbought, what happened? We came back down and retested this upwards trend line. The trend's your friend to the end. Well, this time's a bit different because look, we came back down and actually retested this trend line once already. And look at our first time being overbought could be equivalent to right here. So how low can we go? Are we going to come back down to retest this upwards trend line? And zooming into the price action, what do we see? So look here, this trend's your friend. We've been putting in, since this low, we put in a low here, which corresponded with this first touch here, and another low here, which corresponded here. So are we going to come back down to this trend line here and around the 33.5 range? Are we going to see that? If we just fall straight down today, it's around 31, 32,000. Is that what's in the cards for Bitcoin? This definitely could be the case because this would be that lull, this cool off going into the 2024 halving. And after the halving, if you notice here, it seems like we're in some type of triangle pattern right here, coming up to this apex area. We lull out and then come into the apex, we break out, flip resistance to support, and then have a continuation to the upside. Then we could see a major price appreciation for Bitcoin. So we could see a pullback in the short term. What's Titans of Crypto calling for? 34,000 Bitcoin by the halving. Look here, after every peak, we have this retracement from previous peaks, 56% at $13. 54% at $560, and then 9,100 at 52%. Well, look at 50% would equivalent to 34,000 at the halving, April of this year. So that means we'll have a cool off going into that halving, and then afterwards, you know what happens. So note here, every single halving, a zero is getting added to the price. So the next halving, are we going to see a $100,000 plus Bitcoin price? That's the halving of 2028. Time will definitely tell. In some Bitcoin spot ETF news, you know that BlackRock now holds more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Why do you care? Why do we care? Is there an opportunity with this? Now look here. This is the 11 different spot ETFs that were passed. This was the companies and this was their ticker. Why is this important? Because if you are a W-2 or salaried employee, you might have an opportunity to get some exposure. One thing to note, this is not like buying standard Bitcoin. You don't own the asset. You don't own the Bitcoin itself. This is buying the actual vehicle that houses the asset, and it's not one-to-one. So the price of one BlackRock share is not 42,000, 41,000, whatever the price of Bitcoin is. They have their own share calculation, and it's somewhere between 25 and 40 bucks per share. But because it's correlated to Bitcoin, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, then the shares will definitely have an opportunity to go up as well. Now, we showed you this in the price chart that when is the Bitcoin halving going to happen? We're going to have a cool off, but then we're going to see a blast up after the halving. And we also just showed you this in this example here. But if you invest into one of these, why would you consider this? Well, look at gold. Gold's ETF passed way back here. The price was around $40 a share. And if Bitcoin had a rally similar to gold within the next 2 years, per share went from $40 up to almost $190 a share. At the current time this recorded, and that looks like where we're at right now. And if you look at where this is going currently, you could see that this looks like it could be a big cup and handle pattern as well. So take a look at this. So this is the cup here, and let's just draw this out so you can actually see it. There's the cup, there's the handle. Where's the technical target? So the technical target will be at the bottom of this. You pull it up to the lid, and then you want to see where the breakout point is. So we're going to pull this up. How high could this be going as far as the gold ETF goes? We'll check this out. This would go up to $363 a share, which is about doubling the price from where it's at right now. But from $40, that's almost a 10x. So, you know, that might happen. This might, if it has similar price action for Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin will appreciate, but, you know, these shares could also appreciate, go up 10, 20x. So every dollar turns to 10. That's not too bad for a savings account. So once again, if you are a W-2 employee, you might have the opportunity to diversify your 401k savings, and your company may allow you to withdraw it into an IRA, and that IRA may be able to give you some exposure to one of these tickers. So that is something you can get in early on because these just came out. Right now, the employees for all these companies, BlackRock, Fidelity, VanEck, Grayscale, and such, they're now upscaling and training their employees how to offer these new vehicles for their client base. So they're not going to tell you to do this. Your company's not going to tell you to do this, but it's an opportunity. Don't miss it. Once again, this is when the gold ETF passed. Look what happened. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but as you see, your dollars can appreciate as long as you just make a pivot. And without further ado, let's hear from Raoul Paul and what his message is to you during this cycle.
Look, you've been around this for a long time. We've all made the mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes. It's very hard dealing with an asset, let's say crypto, that is very volatile, but when it runs, it really runs. And you become overwhelmed by emotion. FOMO, you see your friends bought that 100x dog coin and you're like, I want some of that. You want to look for 100x's as opposed to just own some Bitcoin, and if you want to own some ETH, and if you know a few of the big projects, and just buy and hold. But people don't do it. They want to start trading it because they think they can make more money. Also, they custody things wrong. People start thinking, I want the extra 5% yield by sticking it into some project of which they know nothing about the security of. And the don't fuck this up is don't let somebody take your tokens. Don't trade and hold quality assets. If you can do that with 90% of your portfolio, you will do well. Keep 10% to be a total filthy degen. Do what the hell you want, because that will go to zero. We've all got the wallet of shame, right? Every single one of us has a wallet of shame of shrapnel left with the previous cycle that didn't do anything. So don't fuck it up. Is trying to protect people from themselves.